Hello, David Moore with Equity Advantage, 1031exchange.com, and I'm going to address a couple different questions today, things that we get asked a lot, and some of them are a little puzzling, but the first one I'd like to address is the term 5-year hold on 1031. And there's lots of you out there searching that term, and it was really sort of a funny thing because it's not something that typically is looked at in a 1031 context, but it is a combination of things. If you're exchanging into a property, using 1031, you exchange into a property that ultimately is converted into your primary residence. We can thank the American Jobs Creation Act of 2004 for a 5-year required hold in that situation. So what I mean by that is you're going to buy a property via 1031, and if you were to convert that property from investment into residence and sell it within a 5-year acquisition period, that sale would be fully taxable. So thanks to that act in 2004, we've got a 5-year required hold on any property acquired via 1031 and later converted into a primary residence. And that was a result of the change in 1997 from Section 1034 to 121, the old residential rollover to the universal exclusion. And that universal exclusion opened up an opportunity for people to actually take $250,000 personally or $500,000 for a married couple. You could do that once every 2 years on the sale of a primary residence. And for that residence to qualify, you only had to have lived in it for 2 out of the preceding 5 years. So if you look at it in a 1031 context, you're going to be giving up a property, you acquire a new property, maybe you hold it, let's say for a year or so, whatever you and your tax people feel is a reasonable period of time. You move into it, and between like I said, 1997 and 2004, we had lots of people saying, hey, this is a great idea. We're going to acquire this thing, hold it a year, move into it, live in it 2, dump it after 3 years, and take the $250,000 or $500,000, and then we can just do it over and over and over again. And old Uncle Sam saw that happening, decided they'd seen enough, and so thanks to that act in 2004, we now have a 5-year required hold. That does not mean that you can't do it. So anytime we have a rule, I like to say it's sort of a double-edged sword. We have a rule that ties us down to 5 years, but we also have a rule that ratifies the process. They've said, hey, you can do this. So yeah, that timeline, I know it's inconvenient and it does slow things down dramatically, but it did give you the ability to, it ratified the process actually. Now, if we fast forward a few more years, we've got the Housing Assistance Tax Act of 2008. Now, why people search the 5-year hold on 1031 more than the Housing Assistance Tax Act is beyond me, because the Housing Assistance Tax Act of 2008 is much, much, much more damaging than that 5-year hold. And you just got to love the name of it. Housing Assistance Tax Act sounds like it's there to help us and really just sticks it to us. So really, in a nutshell, what it says is yes, you can convert that investment property into a primary residence. You need to hold it for no less than 5 years. And then just keep this in mind, you're never going to see the full $250,000 or $500,000. You're going to get prorations of that $250,000 or $500,000. The prorations that you're allowed, they are attributable to the amount of gain that's attributable to qualified versus non-qualified use periods. So your next question is, well, what's a qualified use or a non-qualified use? Well, the qualified use would be the time you lived in it. The non-qualified use would be the time that was held as an investment, and they tightened it up to April of 2009. So the gain from 2009 to the date of conversion, that's non-qualified use. The time from the date of conversion to the date of disposition that you've lived in it as a primary residence is a qualified use. So you're going to blend those two ratios. And as with everything in the tax world, it's a convoluted formula and confusing to people. So talk to your tax people about it. I know you've got great ideas out there. You're going to get rid of all the gain with the $250,000 or $500,000 after conversion, and that's just, it doesn't work any longer. We've got another video that sort of spells it out a little bit longer. But once again, I just wanted to sort of demystify the 5-year hold, since lots of you are searching 5-year hold Section 1031, and it really truly is only applicable to a property that's acquired via 1031, converted to a primary residence, and then later sold. So again, if you sell a property that's acquired via 1031 converted inside 5 years, it's a fully taxable sale. After the 5 years, you're going to be subject to the Housing Assistance Tax Act of 2008. So one last thing to think about. I'm laughing about it because we've got the Housing Assistance Tax Act, which sounds like it's really going to help you. And then we had the American Jobs Creation Act in 2004. And, how often does the government actually create jobs? Seems like they just stick it to us and slow things down. But hope this has been helpful. David Moore, Equity Advantage, 1031exchange.com. And please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, concerns you may have. And if you've got an idea for a topic you'd like presented in this format, we'd be happy to accommodate that. Please reach out to cmoore at 1031exchange.com, and she will address any questions, concerns, or needs you may have. Take care and look forward to speaking soon. Bye-bye.